Good morning. It's Monday, November 25th. Happy Thanksgiving week. I'm Karen Hamstra at Marion Public Library, and welcome to Title Talk. I have several fiction books to show you today. The first one is a new book by Susan Wilson called The Dog I Loved. This is a follow-up to her best-selling book, One Good Dog. And it says, Luann Rice, writing about this book, commented, "The dog I loved is gorgeous and wrenching, psychologically astute and compassionate. Wilson has always been a writer of tremendous heart and insight. This is her best book yet." Um, After spending years in prison for a crime she didn't commit, Rose Collins is suddenly free, and she becomes a dog trainer of, I believe it's some sort of service dogs. And this is the story of that. The Dog I Loved by Susan Wilson. Mary Ellis, Island of Last Resorts. This is it's a mystery. It's an edgy procedural kind of mystery. Kate Weller's boss, Nate Price, has some exciting news. Julian Fraser, a friend of one of the agency's wealthy clients, has invited the Nate Price investigations team and their partners on the trip of a lifetime to his home on Elysian Island, an exclusive retreat off the Georgian coast. But once they get there, there's a catch, there's a mystery script, and the PIs need to work out who done it. But the problem is, it turns out it's not just a script, it's a real case. And Kate, for some reason, didn't make it to the island, and she realizes something is wrong and that she needs to help her co-workers. And the question is, can she stop a ruthless killer and uncover the truth behind a deadly game? Mary Ellis, Island of Last Resort. Elizabeth Berg has a new book, if you are a fan of hers. It is called The Confession Club, and it is billed as a feel-good testament of taking risks, falling in love, and reinvention. Berg effortlessly wraps her arms around this busy universe of quirky characters with heartbreaking secrets and unflagging faith. Readers new to Berg's Mason will be dazzled by this bright and fascinating story, and fans will be cheering for the next volume set there. So I know Elizabeth Berg has a lot of fans. There are no holds on this, so come on down and get your name on the book. Get your hands on the book. Check it out. Donis Casey, she is one of my favorite authors. She has written many, many books in the Alifair Tucker series, which take place in Boynton, Oklahoma. And this is about Alifair's daughter, Blanche, who goes to Hollywood and reinvents herself as a film star. She's now named Bianca LaBelle, and she's a reclusive star of a series of adventure films. And there she discovers some remains on the beach in Santa Monica, California. So it has all the twists and turns of a 1920s melodrama. And it follows the daring exploits of a girl who chases her dream from the farm to old Hollywood while showing just how risky and rewarding it can be to go off script. If you've never tried Donis Casey, I would really recommend you try some of her books. They're just really enjoyable. Alifair Tucker is really quite a woman, and I'm sure her daughter Blanche will prove to be made out of the same metal. Penny for Your Secrets by Annalee Huber. We're seeing a lot of books with these kind of cover illustrations, kind of, Depression era artistic style. I don't exactly know what it's called, but we've sure seen a lot of them. This apparently takes place in between World War I, the Great War, and World War II. A woman is trying to reconcile with her estranged husband after the war, and her name is Verity, and her friend Ada is having marital difficulties. She is an upper crust type, Ada, who recently married the Marquess of Rockham, and she is overwhelmed trying to navigate the ways of the aristocracy. And when Lord Rockham is discovered shot through the heart with a bullet, it's from Ada, his wife's revolver, Verity fears her friend has made a fatal blunder, and she must step in, of course, and prove her friend innocent. So the author's name is Anna Lee Hubert, Penny for Your Secrets. Here's a reprint. We're seeing a lot of reprints of classic detective kind of novels. This is a Max Allan Collins book called Killing Quarry. If you like hard-boiled crime, you would probably enjoy this. It says, Who's Been Hired to Hit the Hitman? Killing Quarry by Max Allan Collins. And we have a new novel called Lethal Pursuit by Will Thomas. He has written a few other books. This is a Barker and Llewellyn novel. It takes place in London in 1892. And we have private inquiry agents Cyrus Barker and Thomas Llewellyn. And they receive in the mail an unexplained key stamped with what it is. And it proceeds to unlock an anonymous door in the alleyway leading to Downing Street. And you know that's where the Prime Minister lives. And so the Prime Minister has a simple task for Barker and Llewellyn: delivered to the Vatican a satchel containing a government document desperately desired by the German government. The Foreign Office agent who stole it in Eastern Europe was himself murdered at Charing Cross. And so with the Cold War brewing between England and Germany, it's in England's interest to return the document contained in the satchel to its original owners and keep it out of German hands. So the Germans want it, England's got it. Who will end up with it? Read Lethal Pursuit by Will Thomas and find out. Sarah Rain. She is someone who I have not read, but I am going to. This is called Musique Macabre. Why have I decided to read it? Well, her main character is named Phineas Fox, and Phineas is the name of my new kitten. So just for sentimental reasons, I'm going to read this book. The Phineas in the book, however, is not a cat. He is a music researcher, and he has been enjoying his latest commission, which is gathering background material for a biography of Franz Liszt. But although he has uncovered plenty of scandal in the 19th century composer's past, matters take a decidedly unexpected turn when his investigations lead to Linklighters, a newly opened Soho restaurant built on the site of an old Victorian music hall. And there he unearths evidence of a possible murder involving the notorious music hall performer known as Scaramel. Just what was Liszt's connection to Scaramel, and through her to the infamous Victorian serial killer Jack the Ripper? As he delves further, Finn's inquiries uncover clues to a fascinating and extraordinary story, and of course, plunge his own life into jeopardy. So these books, and we have a few others in this series, they are a mix of music and history. And supposedly that provides a refreshing backdrop to Fox's amateur sleuthing. The author is Sarah Raine, R-A-Y-N-E, Musique Macabre. And then last but not least, we have a book called Man's Fourth Best Hospital by Samuel Shem. This is a satire about modern medicine and doctors. Samuel Shem is the author of a previously best-selling and highly acclaimed book called The House of God. And this is more or less a sequel. And it says, if you want to know why the doctor spends all his visit looking at a computer instead of you, and if you want to know how the doctor feels about it, this book is for you. A mordantly funny tour through modern medicine with a powerful prescription for how to change, all contained in the package of a novel by a best-selling author. So I would encourage you to give this one a try. Man's Fourth Best Hospital. And you will notice that hospital is spelled with a $sign. And I think you can get an idea of the message in the book just by that little change in spelling. So I hope everyone will have a very good Thanksgiving week. I look forward to talking with you next week. See you then.